Moto Guzzi V7 Café is special. It reminds me of why I love to ride. It's more of a visceral experience. The sound, the wind, the feel of the road, and the bike. It all becomes one on the bike. It's no longer about maximum speed, power, technology. It's that inner feeling of the ride, and that is what it's all about.
All right, guys, here, let's take a look at the Moto Guzzi V7 Café. This is a classic cafe. It's a cafe racer style motorcycle. It's a 2010 by Moto Guzzi. It's got so many bits and bulbs. There's so many different accessories that this bike has gotten to it and have still in boxes. Absolutely amazing. This color combo is so cool. Let's start with doing a little walk around and taking a look at things. We've got Brembo brakes up front, and it has the braided brake lines. Superb brakes, front and rear. I'm not sure if, yeah, but it's Brembo's in the back too. And then on this motorcycle, it has a full exhaust system added, which is, and I don't even know the brand name. I'll have to look that up. But here it is. All right, you guys can all look at that. And lots of little tiny other things that are added. So these little aluminum pieces here. I'm just going to be going around. I know the tail light and blinkers have been replaced. We've got another set of those in the box because they wanted the little bit smaller ones that are aluminum. The mirrors have been done, so they got the bar end mirrors on it. The blinkers in the front, this little fly screen up front has been added. In the front of the motorcycle, we have, this piece is normally just a plastic piece here. They've got a nice aluminum one on it as well. There's so many little things. Might kind of forget all the little stuff. And then on top of the tank, which is kind of a cool little add, is this little bra, or if we want to call it that. And it has a couple of little zipper compartments here that you can stick either like your ID in, or maybe a little camera or your phone, something like that can go in there. It has a little Velcro pocket on the top for your passport. These bikes are pretty basic as far as you got a couple bits in your custom or added features. You're not going to have the cruise control. You're not going to have an electronic windshield. Heck, you're not even going to have a windshield. You got the little fly screen. And why is it so cool? Well, let's go over today why this could be your favorite motorcycle. Cut. All right, guys, since we've taken a walk around it, let's take a little ride on the bike. I'm going to do a little parking lot. I want to hear what this thing sounds like. So the first thing I'm going to do is start this puppy up, and let's hear what it sounds like. All right, the little idling sound. This exhaust is a good sound exhaust, not super loud, but has this nice deep tone. Hopefully you can hear that. I'll shut up. We'll give it a little rev so you can hear it. Nice sounding exhaust. Let's go for a ride. All right, around the parking lot. Well, let's sit on it first. Here we got the seat. Is a cafe style motorcycle, so it does feel small. It's not huge. I'm very flat-footed on the bike. Seat is nice and comfortable. Not sure if this is a stock seat or an aftermarket one. I think it's an aftermarket. This is a one-person motorcycle. There's no pillion pegs. There's really no place for a passenger to sit. I'm sure they could. This bike going around parking lots, I can make super sharp turns. Since I can put my feet down, I always feel super secure. I can, you're bent over a little bit, so you're not sitting totally upright, but still can make nice sharp turns. Easy to maneuver in a parking lot. I give this I don't know what kind of score to give it. I mean, it's just a real easy bike in a parking lot. You wouldn't feel intimidated whatsoever. Intimidation does not seem to be what makes this bike. It is friendly and easy to ride. Heck, I'm in second gear in the parking lot. The torque on the bike is nice. It's a twin And you get to see those cylinders sticking out the side like all in Moto Guzzi fashion. Really awesome looking bike. Now here's the thing, this bike is sort of accepted in all crowds. The Harley Davidson crowd, the sport bike crowd, the touring crowd, even people that don't like motorcycle crowd. Just because it looks so cool. Let's take another quick look at it, and then we're going to get out on the twisties. The 2010 Moto Guzzi V7 Café. We'll see you on the flip side. All right, guys, we made it out to the windy road out here in the wine country, and this is where I want to tell you why this motorcycle could be your favorite motorcycle of all time, and why you would like to have it, or why you'd want to buy one. It's not because of the speed. I'm going to go over the knots. It's not because of the speed. It's not because of the handling. It's not because of the way it looks super fast and sporty, and it doesn't go over motocross jumps, and it doesn't, okay, all the things it doesn't. What this bike does is make you enjoy motorcycling for what motorcycling is supposed to be. Fun and just having a good time. That's all about this bike. It looks super cool. Hey, you feel just fine showing up on this bike anywhere you go. You go to the coffee shops, you go out to the windy roads, out to the junction, and people are going to come over and look at this bike and go, wow, that is some cool bike. It is timeless. Nobody's going to know what year this is. 2010. They might think it's a 1967. They might think it's a 2021. There's none of this. It's going to be the latest and greatest, and it does not need to be, because it doesn't need to be super fast. It doesn't need to go the fastest around every corner. It's not a race bike, right? It's an enjoyable, fun bike. With that said, look at those Brembo brakes. Holy smokes. This thing can stop, man. It has got some serious braking power. Suspension is just okay. It's comfortable. It makes the ride enjoyable. It's not like high-tech suspension. You know, you've got 2 rear shocks. You can adjust the preload. That's it. What you can do in the front, you can adjust nothing. If you get what you get, it actually works really well. So it's just fantastic. The bike is comfortable. It's small. I can just step over it. Totally flat-footed. It feels super light. This thing feels, I have no idea how much it weighs. Somebody else can figure that out. I don't really care about the specs. I just care what it feels like when I ride the bike. And this bike is just all about fun. It sounds super cool. You feel super cool riding it. And I know you look good riding it too. And you just have fun. Let's see what this thing sounds like. With those pipes, man, it just sounds awesome. I hope you guys can hear that. It just, you know, it's not overly loud. It just has that real kind of awesome, deep, raspy sound that a classic bike should have. Then you put it up in top gear. Your cruise is really nice. You can look around at the winery. It stir handles just fine. Tips into corners great. Got the cafe style handlebars with the clip-ons. You can adjust those out in wherever you kind of feel comfortable with it. Now I know what a lot of people are thinking. They want to say, how fast is it? Well, it doesn't matter. And I'm not saying that because it's not fast. I mean, it's a quick bike. But on a bike like this, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh. Oh, please don't sneeze. You're welcome. All right. You know what it's all about on this bike is just having fun. It just tips into corners really nicely, makes it really fun to ride. So you don't need it to be more powerful. Gosh, I'm gonna sneeze again. Pardon me. All right. So it doesn't need to be super powerful. It doesn't need to be fast or quick. And yet they made a couple versions of this, and every time they made it a little bit more powerful. And really, I wouldn't want it more powerful. Gosh, I'm gonna have to edit all my sneezes out. Anyway, it's like I'm saying, I wouldn't really want it more powerful. It could even be less powerful. It would be just fine. I think we get too much into how much power the bikes have. I know I'm getting concentrate on that, but I know that each time they release this bike, I think there's 3 versions of it, and they're like, oh, a little more power, because that sells bikes, but this bike is all about fun. And I wouldn't worry about the latest and greatest version because it doesn't look any different than this one. And it handles really great. Just a light bike is going to handle well. And for a cafe racer, it's quite comfortable. You take the full wind blast, so you're not going to ride it, you know, thousands of miles or something at a time, but you're bent over enough that at 60 miles an hour, the wind kind of keeps you up off the bars, so you're not really having to put all your weight on the bars. And it's really a great little canyon carbon bike. I watched the guy's review where he went out on the track on this thing and was just having a hoot. I mean, he's yelling and screaming, just thinking it's the funnest thing on the planet, and it would be, because it can do anything. We'll go up through the mountain here and try it out on the twisties. And I just love how it goes into corners. Just a lot of fun, you know. You get that real motorcycle experience all the time. And you can always hear that motor. It's not super loud, but just that classic twin sound, that V-twin sound just sounds awesome. It looks good. Got these classic style gauges. Really awesome. I think with this bike sitting in your garage, you'd be tempted just to pick it up every time you wanted to go for a ride. You go, I'm gonna grab that bike. Yep, I'm gonna go grab that bike. And then when you went touring or something, you'd take your other bike. Although this would be a lot of fun going down Highway 1, I would just love it. So with this bike in your garage, I think you would spend a lot of time staring at it as well. I'm not sure how well, you know, when I first saw the pictures of this, bike, I was like, oh, it's kind of a yellow-green or something. And I really wasn't all that enthralled with it. I was sort of like, I'm not sure. Man, then I saw this bike in person, and I'm going to show you guys again one more time, because I saw this bike in person and I was just like, wow, that color looks so awesome. It's got a black back fender. This is kind of a, I'm not sure, it's a green, it's a yellow, it has just some different colors in it. You can kind of see that as I walk around the bike. Just this awesome, cool looking classic style bike. This was sitting in a guy's collection. It only has 1,200 miles on it, 1,245 miles, I think. And it was sitting under a cover. He called me up and says, hey, I got a couple of bikes I think we needed to find new homes for. Getting too old to ride these dang things, and trying to find something, not that he's old, but he's got some knee surgery, had some knee surgeries done, and so any kind of bend in the knee is not super comfortable for him. So he's saying, I'm going to get a different style bike. Why don't you come by and let's find a new home for these? So that's what we're doing. Actually, I just love this bike. Listen to the way that thing sounds. I hope you can hear that. So the exhaust down here, cool. Then listen to the motor. Get a little closer. Just sounds so cool. And that V-twin that's turned this way, so we'll look at it from the front here, and you see that V-twin going out like that. Super cool, you guys. This is the V-twin. This is the V7 Café by Moto Guzzi. It's a 2010. Boom. All right, today I'm going to do something a little different because I want you guys to hear the sound of this motorcycle again. So we're going to end this on a really nice note, the note of the motorcycle.